Hold up, I must be missing something here. The US State Department just announced that they are revoking US visas from foreign nationals who said bad words about Charlie Kirk on.
Hi lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. So lovelies, I came across this situation for you, and I thought to share where people are reacting to the fact that so many foreigners are getting their visa revoked just because they are making some negative commentaries about CK's passing. Lovelies, this actually got people reacting, and so many Americans are out to call out the BS. Lovelies, I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. All right, lovely.
According to the State Department, 6 foreign nationals have lost their visas after posting online on social media celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. By orders of the Trump administration, if you are a guest in our country and you celebrate violent terroristic assassinations of American citizens, you are no longer welcome. The Department of State put out that we will defend our borders, our culture, and our citizens by enforcing our immigration laws. Aliens who take advantage of Americans' hospitality while celebrating the assassination of our citizens will be removed. The United States has no obligation to host foreigners who wish death upon Americans. As always, there are people who are in opposition to this and think that we have some sort of obligation to continue hosting people from foreign countries who want to see American citizens dead. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments.
Nota Baloyi had his US visa revoked after comments he made about Charlie Kirk's assassination and death. The US State Department announced on the 14th of October that 6 foreign nationals had their visas revoked due to disparaging or celebratory remarks they made about Charlie Kirk. Baloyi mocked Americans grieving Kirk, calling his funeral a racist rally and accusing Charlie Kirk of promoting white nationalist trailer trash. The State Department called these comments inappropriate and said the US does not have to welcome people who wish to harm Americans. Baloyi responded, claiming that the revocation violates free speech, highlighting the tension between controversial opinions and government limits. This is part of a wider crackdown on speech deemed offensive following the death of Kirk on both citizens and non-citizens of the US.
The US State Department is now revoking visas if they don't like what you said about Charlie Kirk. And we need to talk about how genuinely terrifying that is. The State Department announced on X, mind you, that they're revoking visas from people who made comments that they deem celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. The statement, the post, whatever, literally reads, the United States has no obligation to host foreigners who wish death to Americans. Okay, then why is this administration wishing death on Americans like literally all the time? Not even wishing, and acting policy to do so. Cutting healthcare and SNAP benefits, which means Americans will die from poverty and lack of medical access. Rolling back reproductive rights, which is already killing women by forcing them to bleed out in parking lots because doctors are too scared to treat them under this administration. Oh, and if that's a little too abstract for you, let's not forget the January 6th rioters who literally tried to hang Mike Pence. Except they're being pardoned and rebranded as patriots. So spare me the moral outrage. I lost my job last month for comments I made about Charlie Kirk in my personal time on my personal accounts. I made a very restrained, very nuanced video that was in no way making light or celebrating the situation. Yet I had people in my DMs wishing death on me and my family. Does that count as wishing death to Americans? Of course not. Because it's only a crime when it's aimed at their people, and of course we know it's hypocritical. It's actually exhausting to talk about the hypocrisy at this point. We know, they know, but that's actually it. The hypocrisy is the point. Criticize the people we've crowned and you will face consequences. It's authoritarianism. And this is why I keep talking about my firing. The thing is, it's like complicated because I'm not upset about actually being fired. I actually have dreams that like I have to go back and work there, and I like want them to fire me again. And I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, thank God. But at the same time, the fact that it happened is so scary. Because when companies start firing their employees for speaking out against fascism because they think it's going to be bad for their business, or when universities censor faculty because they're afraid of losing their funding, or when government bodies start policing speech, you might as well be paving a yellow brick road to authoritarianism, to fascism. Freedom of speech isn't lost overnight. It starts with censorship, it starts with the firing, it starts with the revoked visa. It's one example at a time. And these employers and these corporations and these companies going along with it because they're scared, because they value their money over anything else. You are allowing authoritarianism to sweep the nation. You are welcoming in fascism. Because I'm telling you, soon enough, Americans who don't fit their definition of what makes America great again won't be allowed here either.
Hold up, I must be missing something here. The US State Department just announced that they are revoking US visas from foreign nationals who said bad words about Charlie Kirk online. In other words, they're silencing and punishing people for their words, all in the name of a man whose entire brand was free speech and freedom. I mean, the irony is truly staggering. They announced it on Twitter, and then they gave a few examples of aliens who are no longer welcome in the United States. Here's one of the examples of this German guy who wrote not even in English, but it was in German, and he didn't even mention Charlie Kirk's name. All he said was, in German, again, when fascists die, Democrats don't complain. I don't get it. Are they agreeing with this tweet and saying that Charlie Kirk was a fascist? So basically, the US government is not just monitoring social media abroad, they're also translating and interpreting foreign language posts. It really does not get any more snowflake than this. Free speech for me, but not for thee.
If you're living or visiting US, you need to be paying attention. The State Department just revoked several visas of people because of their online comments about Charlie Kirk. This freedom of speech that us Americans talk about is just a figment of our imagination. I mean, you know this, right? You're not living under a rock. Anything that you say can be used against you, especially if you're not a U.S. citizen. A single careless post can cost you your opportunity, your stay, your safety. I mean, you know the hate, so stay smart and stay cautious.
You mean to tell me that Erica had her husband, the father of her kids, taken from her in a tragic way, and she forgave that man, she forgave the shooter? So you can forgive the person that shot the father of your kids, but the immigrant that crossed the border is the worst of the worst human that walks this earth. They need to be taken away and sent to CCAR. The Supreme Court said they don't even have to be sent back to their country of origin. ICE runs to the courtrooms to snatch them away from their families. They are undeserving of forgiveness, but the man who shot your husband, that's who they have this immediate forgiveness for.
We have some major news right now. For the first time in nearly 20 years, the United States passport is no longer in the top 10 most powerful passports in the entire world, coinciding with the Trump administration's crackdown on immigration and other policies. So the Henley Passport Index essentially rates how powerful each country's passport is. Last year, the United States ranked 10. The year before, it was at 7th place. Now it's fallen out of the top 10. It is the 12th most powerful passport, tied with Malaysia. And it comes as the Trump administration's policies are actually making it harder for American citizens to travel abroad. For example, this year, Brazil started cracking down on visa-free entry for United States citizens. And according to The Guardian, this is actually only going to continue to fall as the administration continues to crack down on immigration and institute other immigration policies. So spread the word. Full updates on my Substack, linked in bio. Subscribe for free. As always, follow along, stay up to date on all the news that you need to know about. More to come.
Good morning, everybody. Today is October 15th, signaling the 15th day of this government shutdown. We are on day 15 of the United States federal government shutdown. Now, much has not changed since the update that I left you with yesterday. You understand the airlines are still taking a hit. Air traffic control staffing is low, so please expect delays. Please expect longer TSA lines. In addition to that, this administration has already begun the process of the mass firing of federal workers. And this administration has also made it very clear to the American people, please expect more, with the specific targeting of those who are of the Democratic Party. Is that illegal? Yes. Does this administration care about doing anything by the books? No. Has this administration had the Supreme Courts in their back pocket? Yes. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this, right? All right. And with everything that's going on, My heart actually goes out to the federal workers. My heart actually goes out to the federal workers. Those who did not vote for this, yet they're affected by this. You understand? I've had some federal workers take to my comment sections and some of my previous updates, explaining to us, giving us an inside look as to what the experience is like as a federal worker. Now, some people were expected to get paid on October 10th. Others were expected to get paid today. And from what I've heard or what I've read, federal workers are actually missing upwards to 40% of their paycheck. There are actually federal workers who are not getting paid their full check. They're not getting paid for their full labor. You understand? In addition to this administration actually trying to go out of its way to figure out a way to legally not pay those who are on furlough their back pay, which would also make sense some of the workers who were supposed to be put on furlough all of a sudden got laid off, right? And what pisses me off more about this is the fact that our administration, our government is continuously telling everybody that they don't have the funds, they don't have the money to be able to pay our American workers for their hard-earned work. Yet, the president of the United States was able to strike up some new deal with Argentina where they'll be sending them $20 billion. $20 billion, but we don't have the money to pay our American workers. I'm so tired of America not taking care of America first. What happened to America first? To better explain this bailout, I'll be reading an article that you can find on the newrepublic.com. The title of the article is Trump Fumbles When Asked How Argentina Bailout is America First. Even the president can't spell out how his Argentinian bailout package will benefit the United States. The White House is moving forward with its multi-billion-dollar lifeline to Argentina, which will give $20 billion in U.S. taxpaying dollars to a nation on the verge of economic collapse. I thought our economy was on collapse, especially with this shutdown. Oh, okay. Right? However, Donald Trump can't seem to explain why Americans are the one responsible for making Argentina great again. My sentiments exactly. Now, this is a quote from Donald Trump, right? We don't have to do it. We don't have to do it. It's not going to make a big difference for our country, he continued, but it will for South America. Now, I'm trying to understand how $20 billion wouldn't make a big difference for American economy. Right now, according to the government, we can't even pay our federal workers. But $20 billion of our U.S. tax-paying dollars wouldn't make a difference to this country? I thought we were like how many trillion dollars in debt? But $20 billion wouldn't make a big difference to our country? I just don't understand. What happened to America being first? And do you want to know the irony of it all? In the same fucking article where they just explained to us that the United States president will be sending $20 billion to another country to bail them out, it explains how the United States is going to be needing a bailout of their own very fucking soon. Yeah, very fucking soon. Y'all forgot what's going on with our farmers? Y'all forgot what's going on with the agriculture? Let me put you on, right? So you understand we used to have a decent relationship between America and China when it came to trading, right? But because of these Trump tariffs, China is not fucking with us anymore, right? They're not dealing with all of these extra fees. So the same country, right, that the United States has now sent $20 billion to has actually replaced the United States as China's #1 soybean supplier. So Argentina is now China's #1 soybean supplier and is receiving $20 billion in aid from the United States via our tax-paying dollars. So Argentina is not only getting $20 billion from us, right, as one big lump sum, they also got our business now. They got our business with China. And you can thank Trump for that. You can thank Trump for that. Now, I want to end this video with actually asking those who are actual federal workers. I need you guys to let us know what your testimonies are. We need to hear from you guys. Now, I know some of you may not feel comfortable actually posting a video explaining your experiences, but if you somehow are able to see this video, it comes across your For You page, please get in the comments and let us know what's going on. We need to know what's going on. Maybe I can do a video later where I just get a whole bunch of different comments and I read them out loud, because we need to get the personal experiences out there. We need everybody to actually hear what's going on, okay? So please get in that comment section, okay? Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sonia West with breaking news. The Trump administration has revoked the visas of 6 individuals from Argentina, South Africa, Mexico, Brazil, Germany, and Paraguay. The State Department took action after these individuals made incendiary comments online suggesting that conservative activist Charlie Kirk deserved to be killed. The U.S. under Trump has no obligation to host foreigners who wish death on Americans. This move is part of a broader crackdown on those celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination.
So, lovely, it's actually a public announcement. If you're a foreigner, or maybe you have the dreams of maybe visiting the States, or maybe you want to go for any form of ties, your handle, your social platform is going to be checked. So this is just the new thing on vogue right about now. You are going to be checked. You are going to, be looked upon. So I think this is high time everyone really needs to be very careful. The passing of CK actually have, gotten to the extent of people do not even have any form of freedom of speech anymore. Like, I am not disputing the fact that what really happened to him. No, nobody really deserve it, right? But the thing is that I think this issue of freedom of speech is just applicable to some people and it's not applicable to some. Not only do foreigners loses their visa or their visa being revoked. I also heard and I've also seen so many citizens being sacked or being relieved of their job or their duties. I've seen so many people who have reportedly said that maybe because of what they have said on a space of social platform, their job was taken away from them. So I think this is actually time for people to be very, very mindful of what they say, especially on the space of social platform. And it's just so unfortunate that this is just the way at which the system has found itself. You don't have right to criticize anything. You don't have, like, your opinion should just be upon your own self. You don't have any freedom to say anything, even though during the time of who people can actually comfortably say whatsoever they feel. But right about now, it has happened that no one has the right to say anything. If you have any form of opinion, you could just keep it for yourself. When I saw these stitches, I decided to actually go through some commentaries, and I saw so many agents of what I call them MAGA supporters, and they were like, yeah, that is actually a platform whereby when, like, they have actually made it their own obligation to repair, to actually get your data and maybe write to your employee or whatsoever to get them to relieve of your own duties. And so many people are doing this. So many migrant supporters who are so upset are doing this. So I think people really need to be very, very careful with the kind of commentary that they leave out there. There are so many people pissed right about now. Just imagine getting your visa revoked all because of what you say. So with that being said, there is no form of freedom of speech anymore. You just have to deal with it, because right about now things are getting tougher each and every passing day. When I saw this, I was like, wow, I never knew that in this life things are definitely going to get to the way at which it is right now. So, lovelies, it's actually an update, and I hope that everyone is just being so mindful, because right about now so many people are so upset, and they can go to any length to prove a point. They can go to any length to relieve, like they're actually looking for who to use as their a scapegoat. Will I use the word a scapegoat? So they're actually looking for who to use as an scapegoat. So be you who whatsoever, if they can go to the extent of getting their own citizen out from jail, revoking visa will actually be something that is so easy to do. So I think that time of freedom of speech, that era of freedom of expression, of freedom of speech, it's not longer working. It's not more in function anymore. Like, there is actually a stitch I put up here where Ridgeman was like, I have succeeded in taking out their rights. So for someone to comfortably say that on live TV, that is to tell you that You don't matter. That is to tell you that your opinion, your protest, or whatever, they don't care about it. They don't care about what you feel about the present administration. You just have to deal with it, you know? Anyway, lovely, so just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. And if you've not subscribed to this channel, do your girl a huge vote to click on it. And I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one. Share, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.